Welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. Most of all, let's thank our loyal subscribers and new subscribers to the channel. Let us grow to be a force to be reckoned with and make changes to our system in Jamaica. At this channel, we are anti-criminal. Yes, let me repeat. At this channel, we are anti-criminal group of people who do not like criminals, criminal-minded people, terrorists, their financiers, their supporters, benefactors. We at this channel believe the law abiding citizens must live in peace, work, and raise a family. What we at this channel believe is criminal and terrorists must live in fear of losing their lives. Yes, let me repeat myself. What we at this channel, the Jamaica Young Police channel, believe is criminals and terrorists must live in fear of losing their lives, not the law abiding citizens. Yes, the law abiding citizens must feel free to go about their business without any hindrance from terrorists and marauding gunmen. If you haven't subscribed to the channel as yet, and this is your first time, subscribe. Click the subscription link, click the bell, so as soon as we upload a video, you will get the notification first. Please like the video so that others can view its contents. The YouTube algorithm is the recommendation system that decide which video YouTube suggests for others to view all over the world wide web. Share the video on your Facebook, Twitter page, and other social media, and comment below. In Jamaica, we do not have a criminal problem. What we do is a terrorist and corruption problem.
All right, Colombia. All right, Brazil. All right, Mexico. Do I need to go anymore? Venezuela. Do I need to go anymore? What you call it? The El Salvador? El Salvador. Massachusetts. All right, I'm gonna stop that, cause you think Jamaica is the only place? Okay then. You don't understand where what is this thing with Jamaica and everybody talking bad about Jamaica. But people, please, when you're gonna speak bad about Jamaica, please go out there because you could Google everything and look into all these other countries. Because Jamaica is not as half as bad as some of these countries. The only difference is that they glorify everything bad on social media with Jamaica because they're black. When you see the white people them and Chinese people them are kill, when Albanian and Russian and Chinese are kill, see what they them send the Thailand thing come, and everybody, my first thought was WTF.
Yes, my loyal viewers and subscribers. As you can hear, that's one of our Jamaican um, commentator who lives in a in America, and he's giving you his take, about the negativity about Jamaica in the media, especially on YouTube and all those places. So he's complaining that that us as Jamaica not being fair to Jamaica because what we are doing is putting Jamaica in a bad light, and then as you have heard what he said, that it is because we are black people. No, it is not because we are black people. It's because we support criminality, and it's a culture, and we need to get rid of this culture. We don't want to hear this whataboutism. Whataboutism is communist talk. That is what the Russians do. You understand? Communist talk and people who are doing wrongs. They want to, don't look over here. What about over there? No, we are talking here. We don't care about what's going on in Russia and in Asia and in South America. We care about Jamaica and Jamaican people who live in on the island and those who live in the diaspora. So continuing, people give it. So these are the streets of the Jamaicans in the diaspora. So as I said before, um, it is not a poll, but it's just give you, what these people are thinking and responding to the event of J-Man. Yes, man, don't, you'll be like, what? J-Man was defending his life by standing his ground. Well, let's continue to listen.
Yeah, my brother, let me explain it for you the way you want to explain it, all right? If you are illegal alien, right, and you go into a country where there's a gun law and it's a gun state, and they stop you, if they catch you with a gun, it's legal for you to have a gun. If the gun is not stolen, they're not really gonna charge you for anything or lock you up. Now, if ICE is looking for your ass, ICE is gonna lock you the hell up. And if they catch you with a gun, well, the law states that you're liable to have a gun. What they're gonna do is run it and see if that gun did anything illegal or if it's stolen. Now, if it's not stolen, they're gonna more likely try to find whose gun it is and how you came in possession of the gun. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you get charged for any goddamn crime, you got ICE to deal with the immigration part. The court of law in any state or county do not deal with immigration law. That's a whole separate law enforcement entity by itself. So now if you do a murder and you get locked up for the murder, yeah, they will bring up that you're an illegal alien. But that's not what the charges is gonna be in that court of law. You see, in the criminal code of law, your charges won't got nothing to do with you being an illegal alien. It would have to do with what you did on their side. Now, after you done doing that time, if you get convicted for that time or whatever, and ICE know that you're a illegal alien, then ICE comes to get you. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's how it goes. So at the end of the day now, and it also depends on what you do with a gun because the law could change on you where that gun becomes illegal or becomes a deadly weapon. There's certain charges for certain crimes that you got to put it with. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you got to explain it. Like the criminal courts do not deal with immigration cases. They do not do immigration cases. Neither do the courts deport you. It's not the criminal court deport you. It's ICE deportation. Or you could sign out of the country if you have a green card. You could sign out of the country as well. Like you could call up ICE and let them know you want to go back home and all of that. ICE will send you the fuck home. Yeah, I'm telling you.
So listening to this guy, um, as a former detective and and a seasoned and experienced detective, he's the kind of guy that that they would warn you about as a detective. You do not want your accused or your suspect to go in custody and talk to a guy like this. You understand? Because you can know that this man is an experienced man with the judicial system, gun crimes and stuff like that. But there's a lot of misinformation that he's telling people. You understand what I'm saying? You cannot in the country illegally and have a firearm in your person. That's that's crimes all over. So what he's telling you, so he's the kind of person then, who is misleading the Jamaican people, into believing that you can come to America illegally and you can walk with a firearm and you're good because it's the
Oh, again, let me correct you since I live in New York City. If they catch you with a gun or they catch anybody with a gun and you don't got a permit for it, because what people don't know about New York, I could drive with a rifle on my glass. New York is a concealed state. They don't allow concealed weapon. You could have a rifle, you could have a hunting rifle, and you could have a shotgun, but it's got to be visual. So that's why anytime you see they going hunting, they drive through New York with the rifles on the goddamn dashboard or on their glass. You know what I'm saying? Now you could get locked up in New York City for a legal gun. You don't got to do 3.5 years. You could get a program by the feds, or you know what I'm saying. You could end up. Let me see. You probably beat the case, depending on. But if they take it off you, I doubt it. You're gonna beat the case. You know what I'm saying. Now, Bloomberg made it 3.5 minimum. That's the minimum, not the maximum. Each bullet you could get a year for. It all depends on the time the judge wants to give to you. So pay attention now. It all depends on the time the judge want to give to you because it's 3.5 minimum, not maximum. Okay, mind you, and each bullet is what, a year. Okay, then. So put that in perspective. But the difference with New York and you talking about getting deportation, New York, you could get locked up with a gun, go to the bookings and get bail. Yes, when you go to the bookings, you get bail. It's only if your trial get called up late at night, and that way, when you get the bail bonds is closed. But once you get bail and you don't go to Rikers in the boat, ICE just miss you. You could Google it. That's the problem they had with Bill Blasio and Como. You see what I'm saying? ICE just miss you. So that's why ICE and New York City do not get along. Because ICE say they make a lot of immigrants get away. And Bill Blasio and them say, well, they're not here for that. The immigrants do work and all that. Whatever they want to say. You get me? So at the end of the day, I got to explain it that way to you. Now, you could also get locked up for murder in New York City and still get bail before you go to the boat because you got a lawyer that's very good and they don't find you as a flight risk because that's the only time they can stop you from getting bail is if they find you as a flight risk.
Right to carry. That's just garbage. But continue the journey. I want you to listen to more, because this is just um the temperature of the Jamaican people's mindset. So you listen, you decide. One. So listening to our Jamaican brother right here, what this man sound like us a real experienced man in the system, You understand? The average Jamaican who live in New York, who in New York City, or the state of New York, they cannot break it down to you as good as this brother, You understand? So this man, that's why this man is an experienced, you know. Um, I wouldn't say he's a village lawyer and anything, but the man is an experienced lawyer with the judicial system. He's not certified. He didn't. He don't. He didn't. No, there's no bar exam or anything like that. But he's well versed. You understand? So you see, it's the culture, the Jamaican culture, right here. You're listening from this man. He's not telling you that he have been to jail or anything like that. But listen to his argument. One can infer what you want to infer. That's why I say you listen, you decide. So let's continue the journey and listen to the Jamaicans in the diaspora. You understand? And what they're saying about this big thing in South Florida, with one of the most known entertainer in the dancehall scene, Squash, Six Boss from Montego Bay. So we continue the journey.
No, standing ground law is standing ground law. As long as he wasn't the one doing the thing and as long as he was threatened, whether you is a criminal or not from another damn country is the same damn thing. And what you do in another country is not another country thing. In America, even when you go do some shit, it's just murder that they won't think that. But another state not gonna bring a person to the next state. They gotta pick them up. So stand your ground is stand your goddamn ground. That's the meaning of it. But at the same time, if you is a legal immigrant, more likely after you beat that stand your ground law, ICE is gonna grab you. New York, you could carry a rifle or a shotgun. You can't carry a concealed weapon. A lot of people don't know the law. And you all gotta stop saying New York. It's New York City. Got the concealed weapon thing. New York State is a whole different law. You know what I'm saying? New York City. People tend to talk about New York City in the whole sense of New York. If you live in Westchester County and all of that, you could get a permit for a gun. Easy. As if you move to any Connecticut, Poughkeepsie and all of that, they start selling you things for how you could get your permit for a gun and all of that. So when you feel like people in New York don't carry a gun or they can't have a gun, remember, it's not New York, it's New York City and it means conceal. Now you could have a conceal, you could have a permit also in New York City for a gun. You know what I'm saying? Stand your ground laws down Florida basically means self defense. You know what I'm saying? Basically means if you're feeling threatened, you could defend yourself. That's stand your ground. It doesn't mean you got to be on your property or where you live. But that's what stand your ground basically means. Like you are able to defend yourself. Like you could be anywhere and somebody try to rob you. You could shoot them. You're standing your ground. You get it? So if you are outside and somebody approach you in any kind of way, whether you at your house or you even at their complex, if they approach you in a way that you think they're gonna harm you and you doing anything, that's stand your ground laws. But this has a whole different scenario to what's going on. And the law is ready. Bro, we are the ones that is catching up. They're already wait, bro. Is more cameras in the up in the complex. I'm telling you, they have way more information. American police don't operate like Jamaican police. Yeah, that's stand your ground. But let me ask you a question. How did J-Man get to the hospital? Yeah, people want to say he drove himself. Obviously, if you were standing your ground, why would your friends them leave you at the hospital? Yo, some of the time you got to put common sense to these things, because police go by psychology. They don't go by what you think is reality and stuff like that. They're going to use psychology in every second. So it's always going to be statistics that they use to add the maths up. You hear I'm telling you? So when he's going to say that, and then why y'all feel that the one door, you telling me it's only one doorbell camera in the complex? There's no more cameras in Florida. Because by how you sound and how you talk, you must live in Florida. Come on, man. Do better than that, man. Start the things, man. Here's what me I say. Because we want to know, because me pretty sure know them get catch by more camera. And me pretty sure know, say when them drop him off at the hospital, them get catch on the camera. And me know them have on 2 car. And them a check fingerprints and all these things. You see it? I'm pretty sure any car will drop him at the hospital, them a look for it as well. Police, they not gonna put out no information so people can go run go hide.
I hear what you're saying. My point of making these arguments was for the group chat where, people just have a disdain or a dislike for squash. Some people just have a dislike for squash. They have a dislike for J-Man. But, based on the laws, their dislike doesn't matter in every situation.
And then also remember when you're standing your ground, right? When a person is down and is no longer a threat, why are you still shooting? You see the amount of shots they fired, right? So even at the end of the day, when the person them had stopped moving and was down and everything, you hear the amount of shot that was fired and the amount of shot then shells they picked up. So you know they checking all of that as well, and you know they ran back ballistics and they also doing the forensic and all of that. That's why they be chalking out the body on the ground before they move them, so they could set up whatever they setting up to see what conspired in the angle. And I'm pretty sure no, they going to every goddamn house right now and looking if they have any cameras there. And I know for a fact too, they're gonna follow if they see the cars, they're gonna follow any camera to see and catch them to find out where they're coming from.
Yes, it has a small factor. Like, yeah, like, oh, yeah, they did this, but the crimes in Jamaica have nothing to do with what's going on in America.
Hey, Squash used to chill at 233rd and Bonds. Bro, no yard man be at 233rd and Bonds, man. I live in the Bronx for 90, since 94, bro. And that's the ends I grew up at, basically. Like from 233rd. You could say, because we used to go to school at Evander and Truman and them thing there. So at the end of the day, we go to school all over, you know? So I don't, if he comes up here and he's hanging out on Bonds, I guess he was staying in the house. You know what I'm saying? Because yard people, when they come, they go to 235th. They go 41st ain't like that no more. But you see 235th, 225th, 228th. You see them side there? And there's a yard man. If them are go chill, then we more for go. I guess this man was on good behavior.
But, yo, some of the members of this group right here, sir, going like that, them either work for the feds or them I got volunteer information for give to the feds. Like, them know.
Family, you know, things like that too late. Let me ask you. Yes, every chance the man them get. At what point was he planning to report this to the police? This be what I do. It's too late for all of that. That's why when people shoot at you, you report it right away. So if they run upon you, then because me know enough man used to get other protection and all of that, because them claims that them are gonna dash a person. So at the end of the day, the people them shooting at you. Why you ain't going and tell them? You know what I'm saying? You don't got to say who did it. You just have to go, just in case anything happened. So at the end of the day, that's no defense. Furthermore, you do know they're going to have their cell phone conversation as well, right? You do know when they sit there and talk whatever call they made that night. Because if they catch J-Man with a phone, they're going to hold on to it. And they're going to try to track any calls that went through that goddamn area. You see it. And right now, them probably tap all squash phone. You see what me I tell you? So alright, and the things say I joke. Yo, for one, the county is not asking him none of that. That would be the feds work and the DEA work. So y'all are not realizing that he gonna have a feds case and a thing their case. And he's definitely gonna the county is gonna you all right, put it this way. The county and the state could bring you up on charges. The county, the state, and the feds could bring you up on charges. Squash to even spend his money and give it to him would be dumb as hell. Furthermore, you gotta have proof of the money that you're making. Well, if he's making the music, he'd have to show all that proof that he actually made that money from the thing. Furthermore, when your case get to a certain amount of money, a certain amount of number, they don't want money. They want property and collateral. You see what I'm saying? So if you own a business or you own a house, that's what you're gonna have to put down. Stand your ground laws down Florida basically means self defense. You know what I'm saying? Basically means if you're feeling threatened, you could defend yourself. That's stand your ground. It doesn't mean you got to be on your property or where you live, but that's what stand your ground basically means. Like you are able to defend yourself. Like you could be anywhere and somebody try to rob you. You could shoot them. You're standing your ground. You get it? So if you are outside and somebody approach you in any kind of way, whether you at your house or you even at their complex, if they approach you in a way that you think they're gonna harm you and you doing anything, that's stand your ground laws. But this has a whole different scenario to what's going on. And the law is ready. Bro, we are the ones that is catching.
Yes, my loyal viewers and subscribers, we know that experience teaches wisdom. But sometimes some people experience, just equal to not wisdom at all. You understand? In life, it is best for us as human beings to always do the right thing. Support the right thing. Don't support the wrong thing. You understand? You don't want anybody to violate anybody for you, so you don't violate another person. It is as simple as that. As you have listened to our fellow Jamaicans in the diaspora, you can hear the Jamaican culture and excuse they are making for our international terrorists. That's J-Man, Jareem Shelton, otherwise known as J-Man. As you have seen, I had put up a slide to show you that this man, he's a career murderer because he was charged for several murders in Montego Bay, and you can see it where he was arrested and charged. And you know, witness disappear, they kill them in Jamaica. That's not going to happen here in the United States of America. Because guess what? You cannot kill the cameras. You understand? The cameras are there. The camera speaks for the crime that's committed right in front of them. You understand? The latter has committed federal and state offenses in the United States of America. Did you hear the Jamaican guy who speak fluently using the African American accent? The comment he's talking about telling the federal government the offense that our Jamaicans have committed are betrayal to the Jamaican community. And only people who work for the feds would do such a thing. His remarks are directed at me for my anti-criminal stance, and and me, and and for explaining the various crimes that Squash unknowingly, unwittingly. Yeah, so what Squash do not understand and his supporters and these Jamaicans who are making excuse for their behavior. Ignorance is no excuse to the law. And I know that my the guy that has been telling you once you come into the country illegal, you can walk around with a gun. You know, although he has experience in that discipline, what he's saying is wrong. You understand? But the only thing that I can tell my audience, my loyal viewers and subscribers, as Jamaican And as people around the world, wherever we live, work, and raise our family, we must start to turn a new page of recapturing the people's mind by letting them denounce criminality and those who support the same. Because at the end of the lifestyle, the only reward is prison or the cemetery. Let me repeat: there is no retirement for you when you're a criminal, because especially in this day and age, the only reward for a criminal is prison or the cemetery. Not one of your friends or your charge or your G you can trust as a criminal, because 9 out of 10 times whenever a criminal is killed, it's always one of his cronies set him up. And you don't want no further than Shabdan and Squash War, because Shabdan is the one that informed and Squash brother why the police killed him. They were criminals, so that's to show you that there's no loyalty among thieves, because the requirement of a criminal and first and foremost trait of a criminal is to have an unconscionable mind. So, nothing wrong is right and right is double right. A criminal is never wrong. And the criminal is always thinking how to beat the system. Criminal have no loyalty. Their first trait of loyalty is to self. My question to those who support criminals: can you tell me the name of an honest criminal? Please tell me the name of an honest criminal, and I will start supporting criminals. Thanks for watching the Jamaica Young Police channel. Have yourself a beautiful day. Peace.